Welcome back to my MMA news. I'm David McKinney. Today, joining me is a fighter with a really intriguing story and a guy who I followed since early on in his amateur career. He's still an amateur, but he's had a long journey from his last fight to his next upcoming fight, and we're going to talk to him about that. So we'll go ahead and add him. Thanks for joining me, Juwan Big Minniefield. How you doing today, man?
Pretty good, you.
Doing all right. So first things first, yeah, I followed you for a little bit. I've been around the Ohio MMA scene, and then I saw you coming back, and I was like, oh, that name sounds really familiar. And then I started talking to Nicole Castillo, and she told me the story, and I was you know just thought it was an awesome story. And first off, man, tell people a little bit about your journey because this is your first fight since 2019.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, we've had a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, but you've had some crazy stuff going on in your world. Just talk about it in your own words. What have you been dealing with for the past couple years?
So about in 2019, I got diagnosed with ALL leukemia March 16th. And it was right after a fight I had with Nick Walls. I actually had leukemia during that fight, and it was a promotion through Nicole. I think it was WFC, I'm pretty sure, at the casino in Cleveland. I got diagnosed back then, and it stopped me from fighting. I actually slept in a hospital bed for about a year and a half of the 3 years of treatment. It was rough, man. I didn't think I would get back to fighting, but I knew that was the only thing on my mindset. And that's what kept me pushing. And then I had a daughter, actually, right, and I got diagnosed, so a lot hit me at once. Daughter actually had some problems too, so uh, it was hard getting back into it. But man, it's amazing being back and getting ready for a fight. Uh, Actually, I've been going through some obstacles. It actually, to be honest with you, my cancer came back about a month ago, but I'm still able to fight, and I'm ready for this fight, and I'm healthier than ever.
Wow. So the thing that when I first heard about your story, and I was like, man, I remember you fighting, and I actually was at your very first fight, which was a 23-second knockout. But the fight I think that's going to stand out to a lot of people is the fight, as you mentioned, with Nick Walls. And I went back and rewatched that fight just recently, and looking at you, I can see in the first like round, I'm like, man, he looks tired. And did you feel like something was going on during that fight? Like, I mean, because I mean, you hadn't really had a lot of fights go, out of the first round or very long. Did you just think it was related to that, or did you think it was something bigger? I mean, of course, you still came back and won the fight, but which is another amazing story. But did you feel something was wrong? Heading into that fight?
Actually, yeah, it was. I was having really bad problems. Actually, I visited the hospital 2 times before that fight, and I was thinking about pulling out because of the back problems I was having. But they kept saying sciatic nerve, and then I'm just like, I can't be soft. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna pull out. The night of that fight, I was actually in a hotel with Yohi, and I felt so bad because I kept waking up stretching because my back throughout the whole night because my back was just hurting so bad, and it affected me with my training and stuff, and like I didn't really know what it was, but back pain, and it did affect me a little bit. It definitely did.
And still, I mean, coming in, Nick is a guy who is no slouch. He's been around the game for a long time, and still, that was a great back and forth fight. I know that he was looking for the submission at the end of the first round, and of course, you came back in the second round and got the TKO win. Um, I know the fighting career is really important to you, but how important is it to become in 3 years, but then also say, my last fight I wasn't at my best and I still got to win. But how big is that to go back into the sport now with even momentum from 3 years ago?
Uh, the momentum is crazy, man. I feel like a way better fighter now, and being back then that I was just so young, and I know I'm just so much mentally and physically a better fighter now. It's crazy. Like my training and everything's just improved a lot. I've been going up to strong style about 2 3 days, 3 times a week, and um, I don't know, man. I'm just ready. I know that I'm ready.
That was actually one of the things that I noted down. I want to talk to you about because you live not very close to Strong Style. I don't know if people know Ohio, but you're kind of in that. I think you're in like Sandusky, Northwest Ohio area, and Strong Style is not very close to there. I know you have like a home gym, and you go to like you go to Demolition, and some other gyms around there. But what's the mindset of going to a gym like that? Of course, people know Strong Style, producing some of the best fighters in the world, including Stipe Miocic, but they've also got so many up and coming young, lighter weight fighters like yourself, like Mo Miller, who's probably on the verge of being in the UFC, and so many other great fighters. But just what's the mindset of going into a gym like that, and traveling so much and so far away on a regular basis?
Um, so when I first started coming to the gym, my friend James Pfeiffer, which he's a pro fighter, he took me to the gym, and I felt a little nervous, like out of place, and then just competing, and they made me feel at home. And I love going there. Actually, Mo is one of my main training partners when I go up there, and like, competing with them just gives me confidence to go compete with anybody because I know I'm ready for that level of training. And then traveling all the places is a lot. Like I live in Sandusky, Ohio, and Findlay and Demolition. That's about an hour and a half drive from my home. And then Strong Style's on the complete opposite side, and that's about an hour and 10 minutes from my home. And then I also go to Lorraine and do jujitsu at Levitate Jiu Jitsu, and that's about a 35-minute drive from my home. So I do a lot of traveling, and it's a full-time job for me, but it's a lifestyle, man. Fighting actually keeps me going. It keeps my mindset together. The cancer was bringing me down, and the only thing I was thinking about was fighting, and it gives me a reason to work out because when I'm working out, I feel better. When I'm not working out, I'm actually sicker. Like the medicine's not much when I'm working out. When I'm not working out, I'm down bad, and fighting is just my way out, man. It's a way that I know I could take it to the next level, and hopefully, it could take care of my family one day.
Yeah, and so looking a little bit at your history, I know that fighting might not have been in your plans early on. Coming out of high school, I know you played football. You were a standout football player, and I know you wrestled a little bit too. You were a two-time state qualifier in Ohio, but what was that transition? Because I know you went to Indiana to play Division III football, and what was that transition to go into MMA and to make that decision and that jump, from football to a completely different sport?
So to be honest with you, I never thought I would be doing MMA. I'm like, man, who would want to get hit in the face all day? Like I just get too mad. Like, and then I mean, I'm not sure. I came home from college and actually I dropped out of college after I played a year of football and I felt lost. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, only thing that ever kept me together was wrestling in high school. So I just wanted to get some mats, and I did. I went to a jiu-jitsu class with Chad Catry in my first class ever. My friend, which is a guy that's been getting me really ready for this fight, Ty Meese, he almost knocked me out. And I'm like, I love that adrenaline. Like when I got hit all hard, like I didn't know how to fight at all. I was standing the whole wrong way, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't hold back and he damn near almost knocked me out. And I just love the adrenaline. And I remember I was only training for like 2 weeks, and they had a show. This is a fight you've seen. They had a show in Sandusky, and they needed a fighter, and I'm like, what I'm saying? I'm like, oh no, I don't know nothing about fighting. You know what I'm saying? I only been training for like 2 weeks, and then I called my dad. I'm like, man, I feel like they just called me out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I just got caught out in the fight. Like I'm backing down, like I'm soft. So I took a first fight of like 2 weeks training, and then it was a 23-second knockout, and I loved all the clout, like that clout and the fans. Like it is like, whoa, I love this, man. This makes me feel alive again, and that's really what it is. Fighting is a lifestyle for me.
Yeah, and then you go out 2 months later and do the same thing. It took you a little bit longer that time, but
Yeah.
you
Yep.
got cage experience, right? You're trying to work on the cage
Yep.
experience. But the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, is of course, Ty. I saw he's been around for a long time. Still, also a young guy, but your teammate. He's got a title fight, I think, just lined up. What's obviously he's kind of been one of the main guys you train with, but just so many top guys in Ohio. It seems like a lot of the big names, whether it be the up and coming amateurs, the established pros, guys that you've been training with, and you're not just going to one gym. Do you feel like that's helped you, like, get a lot better in a short period of time?
Oh yes, it really has helped me. Ty, he's the guy I go to with Levitate Jiu Jitsu. He's actually cornered me every single fight I've had, and he's always had a game plan with me and got me ready for all my fights. And then, like I said, going up to Strong Style, dude, that's the gym. That's the gym that's really where it's at. If you want to be great around Ohio, that's where you want to go. It's just all different levels, and yeah, man. Ty, I don't know. I'm going back to Ty. That's my guy, dude. I feel like he told me that I motivated him to get him back in the fight. And the whole time I was sick, he stopped fighting. He only fought like one other time in the beginning. And and me getting back into it, he's like, oh no, I just want to do jujitsu. And he just randomly took a fight on like a 2 week notice. And then again, he's like, forget it. I'm just gonna start fighting. I guess I love it too. So we motivate each other. You know what I'm saying? We get each other ready, and that's my guy.
Yeah. I did a little bit of Facebook stalking on you. Looks like you got into the coaching side now too, coaching the kids, and it looks like you got a bigger smile on your face coaching the kids than competing yourself.
Yeah, man. The kids is my way, man. That's what God wants me to do is help out with the kids. And I got a daughter, and kids help me out. You know what I'm saying? Help somebody else out puts a smile on my face. So bringing someone something bright to somebody makes me feel better and keeps me going.
And you're fighting at Ohio Combat League 19, June 11th in Columbus, Ohio, and your opponent is Jeremy Henry. And first off, do you know anything about him? Because he's got a pretty interesting story as well.
I heard he had an interesting story. I'm not sure about his story. I do know he's a pretty good kickboxer, 10-1. Um, all the respect to him, man, and I'm ready to go out to war with him.
Yeah, he lost a brother I think a few years ago to gun violence, and is fighting to help support his entire family, and a guy who's come in the last couple times and beat a couple guys from Ohio, and I know he's got a lot of confidence, and it looks like you got a lot of confidence coming in too, so I'm looking forward to this fight. I think it's going to be potentially one to steal a show. But yeah, man, what do you feel like fighting for Ohio Combat League down in Columbus? I know it's a big show, and probably the biggest promotion in Ohio right now.
It's amazing, man. I love that it's PPV. Like, I made posters for my town so everybody could watch me at home and stuff. Like, it's lit. They put on a good show. Nicole, that's the main reason I'm fighting for OCL because she's the whole time I've been sick, dude. She's always messaged me like she doesn't treat her fighters as just fighters. She treat them as like friends and stuff. And she was always there the whole time I was sick. You know what I'm saying? Just checking on me and stuff. And I told her no matter what, my comeback fight, I'll fight for her.
Awesome. Yeah. So the fight, as I mentioned, Ohio Combat League 19, June 11th. I actually will be doing a commentary for the fight, and it's going to be on combatsportsnow.com, the pay per view. We also will have full coverage of the entire event on mymmanews.com. So I saw your poster, man. You got so many sponsors and so much support. I always want to give everybody an opportunity to shout out anybody, any sponsors, anybody that supports you, when at the end of the interview.
Yes. If you can, just go to my Facebook, Juwan Minniefield. Go to my Instagram, Big2GS. Check out my sponsors. I don't want to say all their names because I forget some, so I forget. So if you go to my Facebook and check out my sponsors, man, they're all great. They're really great sponsors. They help me out train because I do a lot of traveling, and people don't understand it's a lot. It's gas is really high. I mean, they do understand that, but gas is really high, and I spend a lot of gas in the train, and it's a lot that goes into it. So I appreciate my sponsors very well. If you can, please check them out on my Facebook.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I know you got another kid. It looks like on the way, so you got to get out there. And what's the last thing? I know you're not looking too far ahead, but maybe think about going pro in the future, or you think you got a little ways to go, or what's your game plan with that?
I say about just a year now of amateur. I want to get about like 4 fights in. I don't want to be an amateur too long just because of the time frame I took. But I'm not gonna lie, I want me a few belts. So hopefully I get this. I get this win here. I know I will, and get this win here, then go for a few belts. You know what I'm saying, and then go pro. So I say about a year and a half and be pro.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm looking forward to calling your fight and meeting you at the event.
Yes, sir. Thank you.